I made a message this morning about savings, and this message or tutorial is made up of points. First, what is the biblical foundation of saving money? Second, what is the definition of financial freedom? Third, what are the practical strategies or ways? So this is a pragmatic or practical teaching. This is not so much about theories or theoretical, but pragmatic or practical teaching. And number 4, we will look at I like this, the psychology of saving. And number 5, I will share real life stories. Of course, I will share my own testimonies about savings. Number 6, overcoming obstacles. Ano ba yung mga pangunahing hadlang bakit maraming tao ay hindi nag-iipon ng pera? Kaya malalaman po natin mamaya-maya, magkakaalaman tayo mamaya. So, pakinig po kayo mabuti. So, yan pong 6 na points na yan, 6 na stages na yan ng aking message or tutorial this morning. Alright, so let's begin with the biblical foundation. I asked the question, is there a verse or biblical verse very clear in the Old Testament and in the New Testament teaching us, telling us about saving money? Meron bang maliwanag na talata sa Bible, Bishop, na nagsasabi tungkol sa pag-ipon ng pera? What do you think? Yes or no? And the answer is, the correct answer is, yes, there is. In the Old Testament as well as in the New Testament. We are now on the biblical foundation of saving money. So in short, very clear, ang Biblia mismo nagtuturo, nagsasabi sa atin tungkol sa pag-iipon ng pera. At kung hindi tayo nag-iipon ng pera, maliwanag, hindi natin sinusunod, hindi natin ina-apply, pina-practice yung tinuturo na to ng Biblia. Sa Lumang Tipan, meron lang yan. At lalo pa po sa New Testament. I will share all of that verses to you. So if you're writing down notes, be ready with your pen, with your pencil, and your papers, and write these verses down. And I challenge you to read them for yourself and understand them for yourself. Right? Because they are very clear. Hindi po ito mga verses na malabo. This is very clear verses. Maliliwanag po itong talata tungkol sa principle of saving money. No? I did a lot of research along this line. Marami nagbibigay ng mga verses, pero malalabo naman yung mga verse nila, no? Hindi naman talaga tumutukol about saving money. But what I did is very clear. Ito po mga verses na to, very clear. Talagang tinutukoy, tinutumbok, saving money. And I use my Hebrew knowledge and even my Greek knowledge to pinpoint the clear messages about saving money. So, talagang maliwanag po to. Kung hindi nyo pa to nababasa, makinig kayo mabuti at isulat nyo, jot it down, write it down. Alright? So I'm speaking right now to everyone who is claiming to be a Christian. Alright? If you're claiming to be a Christian, you're saying you're a Christian, this is for you. So you better listen up. And if you're writing down notes, write this down. So I will begin with the book of Proverbs. Pag sinabi po natin book of Proverbs, ito po ay words of wisdom po to, no? Sinabi natin words of wisdom, mga salita to na punong-puno ng karunungan. Kaya kung hindi natin to sinusunod, hindi tayo wise. We're not wise. Alam nyo kung anong kabaligtaran ng wise? Fools. Foolish. So don't be a foolish. Don't be a fool. Don't be moron. But be wise. And you write down these verses from the book of Proverbs and write it down, and I challenge all of you, especially you claiming to be Christians, memorize them. Minsan, daig pa kayo ng mga children sa Bible school. Sa mga children natin, sa mga Bible school natin, memorize yung mga verses. Ito pang mga adults ang naturingan, mga adults na kayo, mga memorize, mga verse pa sa Bible, hindi nyo memorize. Daig pa kayo ng mga children sa Bible Sunday school. So you better memorize all of this. So number 1, this is my text. This is my foundational text. This is very clear. Pag hindi nyo pa naintindihan to, ewan ko na, mag-pray na kayo. Maliwanagan yung mga pag-iisip nyo. Number 1, Proverbs 21 verse 20. Proverbs 21 verse 20. Mga kawikaan, 21, talatang 20. I will read that in the first NIV. Then I will read that in the Amplified Bible. At para maunawaan nyo talaga, babasahin ko pa yan sa Tagalog na Bible. Okay? So, babasahin ko po yan sa tatlong version. So, tingnan natin first sa NIV. I like it in the NIV. That's why I chose this morning to read it in the New International Version. You know what it says in the New International Version? Proverbs 21:20. Listen. The wise. See? The first two words. The wise. So, ibig sabihin, the opposite, the fools. Babalik rin natin to, the fools. But thank God, it says, the wise, what? Store up. See, store up. That means saves. What he saves, what he stores up. Choice food and olive oil. In other translation, treasures. When you talk about treasures, it talks about silver and gold. So there it is, the idea, the principle of saving finances, money, and kinds, food, and oil. In short, savings, nag-iipon. There's the principle of saving, storing. You know what is what follows? As I taught in my past videos, Proverbs are full of contrast. The first sentence will be positive, and then the second sentence will be negative. You know what it says in the succeeding sentence? I like it. And I think many will be hit by this. Maraming tatamaan po dito. Ano sabi dito? But fools go theirs down. See? But yung fools, yung mga mangmang, hindi wise. Alam niyo po sa Tagalog to? Winawaldas yung mga nabanggit ko. Imbis na ipunin yung kayamanan, yung silver and gold, yung money, yung food, yung olive oil, or something like that, instead of saving them, winawaldas ng mga to, or ginagastos, o ini-spend instead of savings. I'll say it again. The Bible contains a lot of teaching about money. Contrary to what many people think nowadays. Akala lang na maraming tao ngayon, ang Bible puro tungkol sa Diyos, puro tungkol sa spiritual, puro tungkol sa religion. Nagkakamali po kayo. Pati pera, tinuturo ng Biblia. Paano natin hawakan, paano natin ingatan, paano natin dapat gamitin ng tama. Yung pera ay binibigay, pinagkakalob sa atin ng Diyos. Yan po yung lagi kong sinasabi when I teach along this line. Nagkakamali kayo, nagkakamali ang maraming tao sa pag-isip ng ganyan. The Bible talks a lot about a lot of subjects and topics. Kaya maling-mali kayo. Kung masasabi ko sa inyo, magbasa kayo ng mga Bible nyo. Mag-aral kayo. Hindi yan puro kung ano-ano mga iniisip nyo. Puro mali. Alright. Now, that's the first one. What's the second one? Tingnan natin sa Genesis. Wow. I love this story about savings. Remember Joseph the dreamer? When he became the prime minister of Egypt? What was the legacy na iniwan ni Joseph sa bansang Egypt nung siya po yung inappoint ni Pharaoh bilang prime minister? Alala niyo yung story? The story of Joseph and Pharaoh? The Pharaoh dreamed na magkakaroon ng 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. Magkakaroon ng 7 taong abundance at 7 taong famine, tagutom. O anong ginawa? Anong ginawa ni Joseph? Anong binigay niyang payo? Anong binigay niyang advice, counsel sa kanyang Pharaoh, sa kanyang presidente? Ano sinabi niya? Sinabi ba niya, o sa panahon ng kasaganahan natin, ubusin natin lahat yan. O, mag one day millionaire tayo, ubusin natin lahat yan. Huwag tayo magtira. Bahala na si Lord sa darating sa darating ng mga araw. Yung ba yung sinabi niya kay Pharaoh? No. Ano sabi sa Genesis 41, verse 34 to 36? Yan, binibigay ko lang po sa inyo yung mga eksaktong verses. Ano sabi sa Genesis 41, verse 34 to 36? Joseph said to Pharaoh, "Let Pharaoh take action to appoint overseers and officials over the land." Pakinig po kayo mabuti. He said, "Set aside." That's the Hebrew word for saving. Save 1/5. That means 20% of the produce of the entire land of Egypt in the 7 years of abundance. So, pause po muna tayo doon. Anong wise counsel na binigay ni Prime Minister na Joseph to King Pharaoh? Ano pa makikita nito? Tinuruan niya ba si Pharaoh? 7 taon to ng tagsag Sagana tayo rito Busin natin to lahat, no? Magpakayaman tayo rito. Magpakasawa-sawa tayo rito. Walang ipon-ipon. Busin natin yan, no? Magmuhay tayo parang mga millionaire. Yung ba ang advice na binigay niya? No. Ang wise advice na binigay niya sa kanyang hari, dahil siya po yung prime minister, kumbaga siya yung advisor sa cabinet ni Pharaoh. Anong sabi niya? Dahil binigyan siya ng wisdom ni Lord. Anong wisdom ni Lord sa kanila? Dahil 7 taon niyang sagana, during that 7 years, mag-ipon kayo, isave nyo yung 1/5, that's 20% ng mga makukuha nyong produce sa inyong mga lupain. At anong gagawin dyan sa mga iponin na yan? Ang sabi diyan, sa verse 35, you gather them and then you put them stored of the grain under direction of authority of Pharaoh. Let them guard the food in granaries in the cities. Verse 36, that food shall be put in storage. So they will store that as a reserve, as a buffer for the land. For what? For the coming 7 years of famine and hunger, which will occur or happen in the land of Egypt. You know what the Lord said to him? So the land will not be ravaged or dead during the famine or tagutom. Anong wisdom, matututuhan po natin itong moral lesson? Sa panahon ng ating kasaganaan, matuto tayong mag-save. Matuto tayong mag-save ng pera. Matuto tayong mag-save ng food. Hindi yung sabi nga nila, ubos biyaya, ubos biyaya. Yan ang problema. Yan ang habit ng maraming Pilipino. Ubos biyaya. One day millionaire. Pag maraming pera, ubos dito. Wellness dito. Pag pinag-usapan kinabukasan, bahala na si Lord. Yun. Pag dumating ang kinabukasan at walang pera, ayun, sabi nila, nga. No? Walang pagkain, walang pera. Kaya anong ginagawa ng marami? Utang dito, utang doon. At kung walang mautangan, kaya nila, patay kang bata ka, wala kang pagkain, wala kang pera. Bakit? Wala kang savings. Hindi ko natutong mag-savings. Hindi mo natutunan itong napaka-importanteng bagay nito na ang maging ang Biblia ay tinuturo sa Old Testament pa lang. Hindi ba yan ang tinuturo dito? The principle of saving, storing during the times of your abundance. Yan ang dapat nating matutuhan no? Yung habit na yan. Hindi yung ginagawa ng maraming, frankly speaking, moron, foolish people. No? Kala nila, lagi silang prosperous. Pagdating ng kasalatan, tagutom, kakulangan ng pera, wala silang mahugot. Kaya yun, kung ano ng mga pinagagawa. Utang dito, utang doon, walang pera, and worse. Yan, gumagawa na ng mga krimen para lang magkaroon ng pera. See? Maliwanag po ito. Nasa Old Testament pa lang po tayo, no? As a Bible scholar, tinuturo ko po sa inyo, pinapakita ko po sa inyo to. Old Testament pa lang to. Wala pa po ako sa New Testament. Pinapakita na dito many principles regarding saving for the future. Gaya ng ginawa ni Joseph sa land of Egypt. And if you're reading your Bible, you know the good ending of this story. Diba? After ng 7 years na kanilang plenty or abundance, nagkaroon ng 7 years famine, tagutom. Sipin nyo po yan, true to life yan. Even in the annals of the history of Egypt, naka-record po yan. Karoon sila ng mahabang taon, 7 years or more, ng tagutom, wala silang pagkain. At ano nagsalba sa kanila? What saved them? They're stored up food. They're stored up grain. Their savings saved them. Kung hindi sila nag-save, kung hindi nila sinunod si Joseph, patay silang lahat. Magmula kay Parao, wala silang makakain. At FYI, hindi po uso ang utang noon. hindi uso ang utang noon. Give another one from the book of Proverbs before I go to the New Testament. Proverbs 13:11, and I love this also. Very practical po yung pinapakita dito, mga kapatid. You better listen. You better understand. You better read these verses from the Bible. Ano sabi sa Proverbs 13:11? Dishonest money, or meaning money taken by fraud, dwindles away. But, there's the contrast again. As I told you a while ago, the book of Proverbs is full of contrasts. But, whosoever gathers money, that's saving. Whosoever saves money little by little makes it grow. Wow. Isn't it great? That's great, right? Ang laman po nito, marami tayong matututunan dito. Let me translate in Tagalog. Ang pera daw na nakuha sa pamagitan ng pandaraya, fraud, dishonesty. Yung pera na yan, nakala nyo, sarap ang buhay nyo dahil may pera kayong galing sa ganyan, ha? I'm giving you a warning based on this verse from the Bible. Yung pera po niya na nakuha nyo pamagitan ng ganyang paraan, sooner or later mawawala po niyan. Kalagay sa Bible niyan, it will dwindle away. Mawawala yan sooner or later. Why? Dahil nakuha niyo yan sa masamang paraan. Pero anong sabi sa sumunod na salita? Pero sino man na nag-iipon ng pera, konti-konti, kahit konti lang, pakonti ng konti-konti, konti-konti. Ano po sabi rito? Very encouraging ang sabi dito, ha? It will make it grow. See? At marami tayong instances that proves that. Testimonies of many people who made it a habit to save money. Nagsimula sila ng konti-konting pag-ipon, konti-konting pag-ipon. Ayun, after a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, pagtingin nila sa kanilang mga savings, ano na? Big amount na. Hindi ba tama na sa Bible? Tama po yan. Sinong tama? Kayo o yung Bible? Of course, the Bible. I will rather trust my Bible than trust in people who don't know the Bible. Alright? Very clear po yan. So, tatlo lang yan binigay ko sa inyo sa Old Testament. Very clear text po yan. Telling us, teaching us about saving money. Now, when you go to the New Testament, yan tanong, nasa New Testament po ba yan, Bishop? Nasa New Testament ba yan, Dr. Lopez? Yes. Even, don't you know, even the Apostle Paul, I found out, wrote about it in the New Testament, savings. Tingnan natin, nakalagay sa 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 14. Pagdating ko po, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 14. I love this as well. Meron palang very clear verse sa New Testament talking about saving money. Yes. And mind you, sinulat pa ni Apostle Paul to the church in Corinth. Basahin natin. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 12:14. I'm going to read it in the Amplified Bible. Paul said, now for the third time, I'm ready to visit you. I will not burden you financially, because I do not want what is yours. Not your money, not your possession, but you. Very, very clear yung statement ni Apostle Paul. And here it is. You know why? He said, Because children are not responsible to save for their parents, but parents for their children. Wow! That's a Bible guide. See, I discovered that, I saw that because of my vast knowledge about the Bible, because of my research. It is there. Hindi ba clear yan? Very clear yan. I'll say it again for the last time. Children are not responsible to save for their parents, but parents for their children. Now, I will not go into the hermeneutics of that part of that verse. I'm not giving lecture about hermeneutics or interpretation. Enough for you to know na nakalagay po dyan ang mga magulang responsable para mag-save para sa future ng kanilang mga anak. Of course, ang applicable po nito sa mga anak nating maliliit, mga anak nating maliliit pa. Kung ang mga anak yung malalaki na at mga kaya na yung mga sarili nila, labas po sila dito. Matuto sila tumayo sa kanilang mga sariling paa. That's why I said I will not go into the details of the hermeneutics or interpretation of this verse. Enough for you to know. And its application, we're gonna save for our children, little children. Pagka malalaki na po yan, mga mature na yan, kaya nang magtrabaho, kaya nang tumayo sa kanilang mga sariling paa, huwag nyong konsintihin. Huwag nyong bebeyin. Okay? Turuan nyong tumayo sa kanilang mga sariling paa. At tinutukoy dito, mag-save tayo for the future of our little children. Yung mga anak nating wala pang kakayanan. Pero kung matanda na yan, mahukluban na yan, lalaki ng katawan, at marunong tumayo sa mga sarili lang paa, hindi ko sinasabing mag-save kayo for them. Let them save for themselves. Yan po ang tamang interpretation yan. Sometimes you have to interpret the scriptures in a correct application. Hindi yung ginagawa nyo you're twisting the scripture to make it say something that will suit your opinion on your stand. Tinutukoy po dyan yung mga little children na walang kakayanan. Yan ang dapat nating pag-savings, yan ang dapat nating alagaan, yan ang dapat nating fokusan. Pero kung may mga malalaki na yan at mga pwede na mag-asawa yan, mali kayo kung gagawin nyo pa mga baby yan. Baka dapat kayo unang mag-repent. Hindi yung mga anak nyo kinukonsinte nyo. Alright, so that is the biblical foundation of saving. At very clear po yan. I think wala kayong masasabi pwedeng argument against that, because those verses are talagang pinili ko po yung mga yan to show to you clearly that in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, the Bible, the Holy Bible, our Christian Bible, telling us, teaching us about saving money. And that is very clear. No argument against that. All we have to do is understand that, and of course the most important thing is we teach them and we practice them, right? So very clear po yan. I already said the definition of financial freedom in my past video, so I will say it in passing just to refresh your memory. But the concentration, the focus of this video, of this tutorial, of this message is on practical ways, practical how to do it, strategies, how to do it. Diyan po tayo magpo-focus, diyan tayo tatagal sa diskusyong ito. Kasi mahalaga dito paano natin gagawin, no? How are we gonna do it? Paano tayo mag-ipon, no? Actually, maraming tao, alam na natin yun kinakailangan natin mag-ipon, no? Alam na natin yan. We know that from our own experience, especially pagka duman tayo sa mga mabibigat na pangangailangan pinansyal. Alam natin lesson na natutuhan natin sa mga karanasang yan. Dapat meron tayong naipon, savings. Dahil kung meron tayong savings, we could have avoided those debts, those kung ano-ano mga pinagagawa natin sa buhay natin na hindi naman natin dapat nagawa in the first place. If we have enough savings, as I said in my intro, no? There should be savings. Not only savings, enough savings. And you know, what I'm going to share here is how much is enough according to our financial experts. Well, kanina sa Genesis, binasa natin sa Bible, that gives us a hint, an idea. 1/5. That means 20%. You know that biblical 20%, for your information, is very similar to what our financial experts are telling us now. See? Kaya yung wisdom ni Lord na nakalagay sa Genesis, nakalagay sa Proverbs, somehow nakuha to ng mga financial expert natin. No? Kaya, for me, my conviction, my belief is, pinakamahalaga dito how we gonna practice it. So, again, I will concentrate more on practical ways, means, tips, habits, how to do it, strategies. It's not so much about theoretical. Again, this is a pragmatic teaching. Pragmatic means I learned that from Harvard. Pragmatic means practical. We go to the practical, how to do it in practice. Marami na tayong alam. Marami na kayong alam. Ang tanong, pina-practice nyo ba yan? Ina-apply nyo ba yan? O puro lang kayo head knowledge or heart knowledge? So, we'll focus on the how. Alright? Now, as passing review, financial freedom means, the essence of it is living without debt. Yan. Having savings for emergency. Yan. And being able to make choices without financial constraint. For example, you choose to travel. You want to travel. Gusto mo mag-travel. You have all the time to travel. But you have financial constraint. Wala kang budget. That's the problem. Right? And we can all identify with that. Right? So, yan po yung essence ng financial freedom. Kaya, I'm using interchangeably these terms, financial freedom or financial prosperity. I am sure all of us wants to have that kind of financial condition or status. Kaya po tayo nag-aaral nito. Kaya ko po ito tinuturo. That is the justification, the rationale of Dr. Lopez behind this long series. This is not only for you, it's also for me, to remind me, no, to remind all of us sa umagang ito, isang susi para magkaroon tayo ng financial freedom, matuto tayong mag-ipon at hindi tayo waldas ng waldas, spend ng spend, puro na sa utak, spend, buy this, buy that, at wala namang nasi-save kahit konting pera man lang. I pray to God this will speak to all of us. Alright, so yan po yung very short, that's the essence of financial freedom I'm teaching in this long series. And I want to add, dahil ni-research ko rin to, and I look at it in the Wikipedia, based on the definition of our financial experts, what is an emergency fund or contingency fund? Emergency fund or contingency fund is a personal budget set aside as a financial safety. See? Safe ka talaga pag may savings ka no? That gives you peace of mind. Wala ka savings, wala kang peace of mind, and you're not safe, frankly speaking. So, talagang pinupoint out ko sa inyo yung kahalagahan ng savings to motivate you and to encourage you to do it, to start practicing it today. So, it is a financial safety for future mishaps or emergencies. Yung mga tinatawag ng mga financial expert natin, anticipated, unexpected expenses. Bigla na lang may susulpot. Hindi natin inaasahan. Kapag wala tayong perang naitabi, ano mangyayari? Kanga nila, patay silang bata sila. Wala silang manghugot. Walang pera kasi nakatabi or savings. Emergency fund, according to our experts, may be used in the case of job loss. Yes, I know that. I experienced that. I can testify about that. Pagka mawalan ka ng trabaho, for example, and I am very sure about it, many of you experience that out there. Walang kayo ng trabaho. Sabihin na natin na walang kayo ng source of income. Walang kayo ng pera. Wala kayong savings. Ano nangyari sa inyo? Whereas, kung nawalan tayo ng trabaho, nawalan tayo ng source of income, nawalan tayo ng pera, pero meron tayong savings, meron tayong mahuhugot. See? Ano pa? Medical emergencies. Yan. Alam yan ng maraming kapwa natin Pilipino. Bigla na lang nagkasakit yung mahal nyo sa buhay, yung kamag-anak nyo. Sinugod nyo sa ospital. Wala kayong pera. So, ano mangyayari sa inyo? Whereas kung may savings kayo, you are prepared financially to cope up with that medical emergency. Tama po ba? Am I right? Of course, I know I'm right. O sa mga may sasakyan, automobile problems. O alam natin yan, di ba? Kung alam, halimbawa, sasakyan mo second hand. Nasira yung isang parte. Alam nyo na ng mga second hand. Huwag na tayo mag-usap tungkol sa second hand. Alam ba, nagkaroon ng ganyan? Paano nyo magagamit? Sira. O kailangan nyo palitan. Paano nyo papalitan? Wala kayong pera. Kung may savings kayo, meron kayong madudukot para mapalitan. Tama? At iba pang mga unplanned travel expenses. Nabanggit ko na po ito. Gusto mo mag-travel, wala kang pera. The most important, as I said, practical strategies or practical ways, paraan practical habits, practical tips, no? Sinabi po natin practical, FYI, proven, tested po to. Not only in the Bible, but also by our financial experts. Not only in America, but also in the Philippines. As you know, Dr. Lopez is doing his best to give you high quality teachings, tutorial, ano po yung mga natututunan ko sa Amerika, sa Pilipinas, sinishare ko sa aking mga video. Kaya kung hindi kayo makinig, shame on you. If you don't practice on pray, when you practice to, shame on you. That's all I can say. Alright? Now, kanina, to begin with, I mentioned a while ago, how much is enough savings? Yan ang isa sa mga tanong based on my research. How much is enough savings? Paano natin masasabi na meron na tayong naipong sapat para makover yung mga sa hinaharap na pangangailangan natin? Well, according sa ating mga financial experts, they say encourage saving at least, listen, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That's the idea. 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Meaning, for example, ang expenses nyo ay, sabihin na natin, 20,000 a month. 20,000 a month. Or 10,000 a month. You times it by 6. So, kung 10,000 times 6, that's 60,000. So, maybe I'm speaking to our fellow Filipinos who have a 10,000 monthly income. Or something like that. Kung ang expenses nyo po ay 10,000 a month, times 6, that's 60,000, meaning, dapat ang savings nyo ay umabot ng 60,000 savings. Yan talaga sinasabi ng mga experts based on my research. At least 50,000. Not below, but 50,000 above. That is what we can call enough savings, no? So, baka napawaw kayo o nasyak kayo. Ibig mo sabihin, Dr. Lopez, yung 10,000, yung 20,000, yung 5,000, yung mga barya-barya natin sa mga alkansya natin. So, ibig mo sabihin, Dr. Lopez, hindi sapat yun. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, hindi po sapat yun. Especially pagka magkaroon tayo ng pangailangan in the future na malaking halaga. Kahit butasin mo lang ang alkansya mo dyan, pag sama-samahin mo, hindi po kakasya yun. Alright? So, that gives you an idea. Alright? So, that's what our financial experts are telling us. And I'm sharing to you right now. So, kung ang savings niya po ay hindi pa umaabot sa ganyan, huwag tayong ma-discourage, no? Mami nga nila, huwag kang mag-give up. Make it your goal. Yan. Make it your goal. No? I'm gonna open my heart to you right now. Personally, ako po, ang ginugol kong savings ay 50,000 or more. No? So, 50,000 or more. So, malapit na po ako dun sa sinasabi ng mga financial expert namin. Again, kung wala kayong ganyan savings, don't be discouraged. Just make it your goal. Right? Now, isa pa pong tip. Ito na po, pupunta na po tayo sa mga tips. Ano pa mga mabibisang tips, mga effective tips? Sa binigay ng ating mga expert, automatic savings. Ano po yung automatic savings? Setting up automatic transfers to saving account. Ano yung sabihin nun? Kung ang sweldo nyo ay ATM, marami sa atin ganyan, di ba? Sweldo natin ATM, goes to the ATM, goes to our savings account. So, very applicable po to, automatic savings. Meaning, mag-set kayo ng automatic transfer. Set nyo lang po yan sa inyong mga online banking. At pagka pumasok yung pera nyo, yung sweldo nyo, mag-ship kayo 5%, 10%, something like that. Let's say 10%. I will not tell you 20% or 5%. Doon tayo sa average. Let's say 20% of your salary. You put it in an automatic transfer. In 10% ng sweldo nyo, 10% of that will be automatically transferred to your savings account. Kaya, makikita nyo po mamaya yung sasabihin ko pong principle na sinasabi rin ng ating mga financial expert. Kasi anong problema po sa atin lahat? Sasama ko na yung sarili ko. No? I'm not saying, I'm including myself. Ano po problema sa atin? Honest tayo dito, prangkahan tayo dito. Ayaw natin yung mga hypocrites, ayaw natin yung mga plastic, no? Be honest with yourself. Ang problema sa atin, we spend first, and the last thing we do, we save. That's the usual practice of many people. Spend first, then save last. Which, according to our financial experts, are wrong. Ang sabi lang, tinuturo nila, and I think I will agree with them, the best thing to do, the right thing to do, you know what? Save first. After save, what is left, you use in your spending. Very clear po ba? So, baguhin po natin yun. Simula ngayong araw na to, no? Unahin natin, mag-save muna tayo. Pag naiset aside na natin yung savings natin, yung natira, yun ang gagamitin natin in spending. In that way, nakapag-save ka na, no? At hindi mo na magagawa yung hindi ka makapag-save. Kasi, kaya ng practice natin lahat, no? Sinasama ko na po yung sarili ko dyan. Puro tayo spend. And then, makikita na lang natin yung sarili natin. We already spend all of our money. Wala na natira to save. Right? Right. Whereas, if we gonna change that habit, kaya na sinasabi ng ating mga experts, save first and then spend what is left. Again, I think I will agree with that. So, ipon muna, tabi muna yung ipon, yun ang tira, yun ang gagamitin pang gastos. That is the better way to do it, I think. Alright? So you might as well practice that starting today. The matter is, we always put spending first and savings. No wonder majority of us do not have savings. Whereas if we're gonna practice what our financial experts are telling us to change that lifestyle, even our doctors will tell you change your lifestyle. Save first and then spend the rest. Ito pong way na ito pong tip na ito pong habit na kung gagawin natin itong habit, I'm really sure that will revolutionize your finances. So this is the decision, the choice is yours. But for me, I'm already practicing it. Alright. So that is the number one tip. Number one way. Sinabi pong way, paraan. Kung wala na kayong may kakatwiran, you have no excuse. And I don't know how to save. That's why I'm giving you tips. That's why I'm giving you ways. That's why I'm giving you how to do it. Hindi nyo na pa na-practice to again, shame on you. Not shame on me, but on you. Because you never learn to save. And when that emergency in the future hit you, sabi nga nila, sa uli ang pagsisisi. Mark my word. Now, ano pa po yung mga binigay na for me, effective tips po na dapat nating sundin talaga, i-apply. Doon tayo, ang sinasabi natin kanina, save first, then put spending later. You spend what is left. Alam niyo po, based sa mga studies and research, bakit tayo nagkakaproblema sa savings? You know why? Because of our spending. The way we spend our money. I want that to sink in your heart and in your mind. Tanim nyo po yan sa puso nyo, sa isip nyo. Sabi ng teacher ko, inculcate that in your mind. Sabi ng mga tao sa kanto, mga tambay, saksak nyo yan sa kukote nyo. Hindi kayo nakakapag-save because of the way you spend. It's on your spending. Too much spending, overspending, all spending. Lalo na po minsan yung mga babae dyan, no? I want to single out women. Sino ba ang mga laging sabi nila bent on impulsive buying, spending? I think not us men. I think it's on the women, no? On our wives, mga asawa natin babae. Nakakita lang ng on sale o yung mga promo sa mga online shopping, spend agad. Pag pumunta sa mga mall, may dalang cash. Ayun, makakita ng magandang damit, magandang sapatos. Hindi ko po nilalahat ng babae. I'm not generalizing, but I'm sure many women are bent on doing this. No? Kaya minsan sabi nila, huwag tayo pumunta sa mga mall with cash. Let's go there with cards. Kasi pag cash, paglabas mo ng mall, wala ka ng cash. because of this impulsive, they call it impulsive buying of many women. So it boils down to our spending, how we spend. Kaya you know what? Our experts are telling us, you know what? You know what they're saying? Cut back your spending and save as much cash as you can. I'll say it again. Cut on your spending so you can save as much as you can. Tagalog. Bawasan po natin yung gastos natin, no? Para makapag-save tayo ng madagdagan natin yung savings natin. Now, you might ask, ano po yung mga pwede nating bawasan? Cut. Already, sinulat ko yung mga sinasabi ng ating mga expert. Again, I'm sharing what our financial experts, I'm telling you, not only from Philippines but from America. This is what they are saying and teaching. Mga experts po ito pagdating sa pera. Kaya kung hindi kayo makinig, again, shame on you. Dahil itong mga to, ginugol ang kanilang mga pera, ang kanilang mga oras, at ang kanilang mga katalinuhan para pag-aralan itong mga to, para tulungan tayo sa larangan ng ating pananalapi. At kung hindi tayo pag-agree at hindi tayo sumusunod, talagang shame on you, not shame on them, no? Because they did their part, I did my part. You have to do your part if you want to experience financial prosperity or financial freedom. Simple lang yan eh. How can you prosper kung puro ka spending? Paano ka makakaipon kung puro palabas ang pera mo? Hindi mo na-realize yun? Kung baka may tama yung mga utak nyo, yung mga mind nyo, may gumagana, may gawa ng demonyo dyan sa mind nyo, sa utak nyo, kaya hindi nagre-register sa inyo to. Simple lang yan eh. Kung puro palabas ang pera mo, paano ka makakaipon? Tama? Kung puro spend ka, puro palabas ang pera mo, paano ka magpa-prosper? Ang mga nagpa-prosper, karamihan ng pera, papasok. Pakakala nyo yung mga prosperous, labas ng pera. Hindi. Ang mga prosperous, ang pera niyan, incoming, not outgoing. Kaya minsan nakakarinig tayo eh. Tingnan nyo yung mga Chinese. Ang sabi nila, ano yan, kung kumain daw, mga lugaw-lugaw lang. Pero tingnan mo mga bank account yan. Milyones. Samantalang tayo mga Pilipino, kung kumain sa restaurant, kung ang mamahaling sa restaurant, pa-star Starbucks pa, kung ano-ano mga pinagagawa, akala mo mga mararaming pera. Pero pag tinignan mong bank account, walang laman, paubos. Tingnan mong utang, daming utang. You know what I'm speaking? When I'm saying here? Yung iba, mas mahalaga yung social status, so sabi nga, social ladder. Daig pa kayo ng mga Chinese, no? Mga Chinese, simple lang yan, pati pagkain. Pero tingnan mo mga saving account yan. Tingnan mo ang mga kaperahan yan. Pag nagkaroon ng mga emergency yan, tingnan mo how they cope with that. Because they have the means to it. They have the discipline. Now, ito po yung mga tips ng ating mga expert how to cut our expenses. Kaya nung ito'y binabasa ko at binubulay-bulay ko, minameditate ko, it really speaks to me. No? And I'm thinking, how can I apply it in my present situation? Ganun po ako eh. No? Hindi ako nagre-research just to teach you. Every time I did a in-depth research, I'm thinking, is this applicable to me? And if this is applicable to me, how can I apply it in my present situation? Ganun po ang tamang perspective ng isang scholar, ng isang pragmatic teacher. You're not only teaching others, also teaching yourself. So how are you gonna do it? Oh, ito, cut cable or television streaming services. Lower your cell phone bill. Get rid of subscription. Oh, baka may mga subscription kayo na hindi naman kinakailangan. Luho lang. No? Ay, gusto ko to kasi ano ko eh, pag subscriber ako to, mukha akong ano eh, social climber ako eh. Taas ang social status ko. O pagka meron ako nito, taas ang tingin sa akin. Baon naman sa utang. Dami naman utang. Mga kapatid, mag-isip kayo. Oh, ano pa? Start meal planning. So, ito, sa mga babae, sa mga asawang babae, ano sabi rito? Think of how you can cut back your grocery budget. Yung mga hindi naman kinakailangan. Siyempre, of course, kung kailangan yan, bilhin nyo. Pero kung nagbo-border yan sa wants o luxury, eh, you can cut it. Di ba? Ano pa? Tulan tayo sa mga essential expenses, etc. etc. So, meaning, in short, ang sinasabi ko po, maybe we should review our expenditure. No? Tingnan natin yung mga pwede nating i-cut na hindi mga makukompromiso yung mga talagang essentials natin. Baka meron tayong pwedeng i-cut diyan. I'm inspired to say that to you in this video. And when you see that can be cut, cut it. What you can cut out of it, you put into your savings. Again, the premise cut back spending so you can save as much as you can. Alright? Okay, so very effective po yan. I think very effective, very practical tips. Alright? Ano pa? Save per month. O yan. Sa bagong tip yan. Mag-ipon daw tayo tuwing buwanang ipon. O to, I think pwedeng gawin to ng mga nag-iisip talaga mag-ipon, no? Kung buwanan ng sweldo nyo, mag-save kayo every month. Right? Do it every month. Kung hindi nyo kayang every week, do it every month. Lagay ko naman, magagawa natin yan every month, no? For me, ano na yan, madali na yan. Magaan na yan, no? Per month. How you gonna do it? Whenever you get your salary, deposit a specific amount in your bank before taking care of your bills. See? Laging sinasabi dito, save first, then spend the rest. You know what is my financial plan? Ang financial plan po ni Dr. Loves is this. I give 10% tithes of my money I try to put another 10% in my savings, and the remaining 80% that I use for spending. So what you can see there, I put priority in tithing, that is for the Lord, and I also put priority in savings. Huwag nyo na lang itanong kung ang savings Dr. Lord nasa time deposit. Basta mahalaga may savings tayo. Huwag nyo imbestigahan yung savings ko. Savings kayo. Mind your own business. But the thing is, ang pinupunto natin dito, naka-incorporate na sa financial plan natin yung tithing dahil Christian tayo, savings dahil alam natin maraming benefits yan na mabibigay sa atin, not only in the future, even at present time. So nakasama na yan talaga sa financial plan natin. Dapat, no? And then kung ano yung matira, yun ang gamitin natin spending, right? Yung nga po pala, before I leave this point, lagi kong sinasabi, deposit your savings in your bank account. I would rather advise you, if you will ask me, unsolicited advice, better to put it in your bank savings account. Kaya nga savings, diba? Savings account. That is your savings account in your bank, not in anywhere, no? Kasi marami pong advantage sa bank, no? Sabihin na natin maliit lang ang interest niyan. At least may interest, no? Hindi naman tayo after sa interest. I'm not that much interested about interest. The important thing to me is to save the money. So if your bank offers you little interest, fine. If your bank gives you big interest, fine. The goal is to save, right? With little or big interest, whatever. Mahalaga may savings ka sa bank. Bakit po bank? Bangko kasi mas secure yan. Pag sinave nyo yan sa iba, alam nyo na, sa ibang lugar, alam nyo na, maraming tayong nakikita sa mga napapanood natin sa TV, no? Lagay nyo yun sa bahay, nasunog bahay nyo, sunog pera nyo. Di ba? Nakita natin sa isang balita yan. Lagay nyo yan sa alkansya nyo. Meron ako narinig, naglagay doon sa alkansya. Tinira yung alkansya nyo. Di nawala. Tsakin nyo, pag naglagay kayo sa alkansya nyo, talagang i-secure nyo yan. Tsakin nyo, walang makakukulimbat yan. You got the point? For me, I would rather put it in a bank. Alright? Pwede po bang magbangko kahit 500? Yes! Marami pong bangko ngayon. Mag-open kayo ng savings account. Kahit 500, tumatanggap sila niyan to open a bank account. Of course, I will not give any names here. Hindi tayo nagpo-promote ng any bank. Enough for you to know my advice to put that in a bank. 500 lang pera nyo, go to the bank, Google it kung saan kayo pwede mag-open ng savings account. 500. Then at least, nakapag-open na kayo ng bank account, savings account, meron na kayong 500. So when you apply this save per month, every month, dagdagan nyo yung 500. Then, pagka, siyempre, iba-iba yung income natin. Minsan, may pumasok ng malaking pera. Pag malaking pera, di magbigay, dagdagan nyo ng malaking po. Maganda po yan, no? Start tayo ng 500. Then, we save 1,000. Then, we increase it. Of course, sabi nga nila, pagka sagana yung pera pumapasok, hindi yung dagdagin yung savings nyo. Eh kung kanga nila konti lang yung pera pumapasok, konti lang idagdag nyo. It depends on your incoming money. But for me, pag meron kayo na-receive na big amount, I would rather we put a big amount in addition to our savings. Alright? Another tip, I already said it, avoid impulsive buying and unnecessary debt. Always strive to save a portion of your income, no matter how small. Again, this is the golden rule. Ang golden rule is save first and then spend the rest. Hindi yung spend first and then save later. Yan yung banggit ka na po nung nakaraan. At another tip, save 10% of your salary. Right? So 10% of your salary. Kung hindi nyo po magawa yan every cut-off, every payday, gawin nyo po yung sinabi natin kanina, every month. No? At least, ang mahalaga po dito guys, mga kapatiran natin dyan, the most important thing here is kahit papano nakakapag-save tayo. We are on the way to saving until we reach our goal of saving 50,000 or more now savings account. Kaysa linggo-linggo, buwan-buwan, taon-taon lumilipas sa buhay natin ni singkong duling. Sabi, singkong duling, wala kang savings. Oh my God. Wala po akong pinatutungkulan dito, pero I'm sure many people out there are like that. Taon-taon ang buhay nila lumilipas, tumatanda sila. Lahat ng pera nila palabas. Hanggang ngayon, sa ikangan na singkong duling, wala silang savings account. And that's really not good. Unfortunate. No? Kaya nga sabi ko kanina kung maka-open kayo ng 500 savings account, start with that. Good for you. You are on the way to saving money for your future. Kaysa taon-taon lumilipas sa buhay nyo hanggang ngayon, yung singkong duling, ika nga nila, wala kayong naipon. Napakahirap po nyo. Alright. Ano pa? So 10%, no? Goal natin, reach tayo ng savings that can cover 6 months of expenses, so about 50,000 to 60,000 or more. Alam niyo po ba? Side comment lang to. Alam niyo po ba, FYI? People who have millions or less than millions in their bank accounts, they are really secure in their future. And they have, we can say, they have peace of mind financially because they know whatever happens in the future, they have a lot of money saved in their bank account. No? Hindi yung tumatanda ka, mawalan ka na nga ng trabaho, no? Kaya ng mga nakikita natin. Alam niyo po yan, no? Pag nagdadaan tayo sa mga kalsada, minsan galing kami sa isang kasalan, Nakasakay kami ng kotse. Ako mismo na-touch yung puso ko. Kaya kahit nasa loob ako ng kotse, pinabuksan ko yung salamin. At talagang pinabutan ko ng pera yung matandang babae. Paano yung matandang babae? Matanda na, naglilimos sa tabi ng kalsada na dinadaanan ng maraming sasakyan kahit mapanganib. Talagang ginagawa niya yun sapagkat wala siyang pera. At siya'y nasa ganong katandaan na. Diba? Nakakawawa at nakakaawa talaga ang sitwasyon niya. Kaya kami nasa kotse at paalis na yung dapat barangkada na. Ang sabi ko, stop and give to that old woman. What I'm trying to show to you, yung realidad na pagka ang mga tao tumanda at walang savings at wala pang mga taong susuporta sa iyo, eh God forbids na hindi kayo magaya sa mga ganong matanda na binanggit ko. No? Kaya yung mga pa-retire dyan, yung mga retirement nyo, meron kayong matatanggal ng mga retirement pay, make sure 100% nakasecure po yan sa inyong mga secured bank account. At hindi nyo papayagang manakaw yan o ma-scam kayo. Dahil mga pinaghirapan nyo po yan at kailangan nyo yan in the future. 2 more tips before we end on these practical strategies or tips. Ito ginagawa to ng marami. Sabi ng ating mga financial expert, don't invest your savings into stock market or any business. Alright, I will make a comment on that. Pag meron tayong savings na save sa ating mga bank accounts, error po, malaking mistake daw according sa financial experts in America. In America, I'm not talking about financial experts in the Philippines. Financial experts in America tells that don't put your savings into stock market or any kind of business. Yung savings po, savings lang yan. No? Savings lang yan. Hindi yan pwedeng ipautang, hindi yan pwedeng gamitin sa ibang paraan, at lalong hindi pwedeng gamitin sa pag-invest. Although, we will discuss investments in the future, maybe next month, pero ngayon pa lang po, sinasabi na dinidiscourage na tayo yung mga savings natin, wag yan, hindi yan nagagamitin natin sa pag-invest. Ibang pera po yung gagamitin natin sa pag-invest. So, kung yung kanina binanggit kong formula, 10% tithes, 10% savings, and meron kang maraming pera, you set aside another 10% for investment. You get the point? The point there is, you never use the money that you save for investment. You have another money set aside for investment. Para yung savings natin nanatiling nakasave. Yun po yung justification doon. Kung nga naman, nag-save ka tapos invest mo. Eh kung nalugi yung investment mo, di patay yung investment mo, patay din yung savings mo. Wala, 0-0 ka. Get the point? So, tama mo yung advice nila. Last tip, don't forget to rebuild your savings after you use it. Tama po yun. Ito po yung pinaka-worst scenario. Nag-savings ka, nag-ipon ka, tapos nangailangan ka, walang wala, so nagamit mo yung savings mo, so anong dapat mong gawin? Don't forget to build it again. In short, ibalik mo lahat na nagamit mo sa savings mo. Kung 500 pesos yung na-save mo, tapos ang kailangan ka na ubus ang 500, ginamit mo, balik mo ulit yung 500 sa savings mo pag may pera ka na. Alright? Kung halimbawa naman 10,000 yung savings mo, nabawasan mo ng 5,000, pag may pera ka na, balik mo yung 5,000 so you can rebuild the savings that you spend. You got the point? The point there is you maintain your savings. Magamit mo man yan, naibalik mo. No? Prangkahan tayo, marami po talaga nakagawa yan. Lalo na sa Pilipinas, maraming Pilipino yung nangangailangan, gigipit. So, kahit nga yung mga pera sa mga alkalde, talagang kinukuha na yan para magamit. So, pag nagamit nyo yan, tsakin nyo po. Balik nyo lahat yan pag may tumating sa inyong pera. Alright? So, you can continue on your journey of saving money for your future. Alright. I think enough yung aking mga practical tips na binigay. Hindi ko nga sure kung lahat yan gagawin nyo. Pero isa dyan, dalawa dyan, o tatlo dyan na gawin nyo, I'm sure about it. It will really help you a lot. But for me, because I am the one who conceptualize it and make that, I will do my best to apply all of it. Now, go to psychology of savings. When you go to psychology of savings, meaning kung tayo nakapag-aral ng psychology, mayroong mga pastor natin, I'm talking about nakapag-aral sa mga kilalang Bible school, Bible college, Bible seminary, merong subject na psychology sa BTH. I have that in my BTH and in my MDiv, psychology. In my MDiv, I have psychology of religion. So I have a lot of units in psychology. When you talk about psychology, sa lahat ng nag-aaral sa college of psychology, you know about psychology. And you know, when you say psychology, you're talking about study of mindset and human behavior. Mindset, mental disposition ng isang tao, and behavior. So, yan po yung pinag-aaralan sa psychology. Kung kayo nag-aaral ng psychology, alam niyo yan. Dahil ang ating mga psychologists, mga professor natin sa psychology, tinuro sa atin yan. Human behavior is influenced by mental mindset. No? And I agree with that. Ang mga tao nagbibehave, bakit sila nagbibehave ng ganyan? Nasa mindset nila yan. Nasa mental faculties nila yan. For example, kung iniisip nila na sila ay mga magagaling, kung nasa isip nila ay sila ay mga Superman, Superwoman, ano makikita mong behavior niya? They will behave like a superwoman or superman. Why? Because that is what they're thinking, who they are. Right? Kaya tama si King Solomon sa Book of Proverbs. I call that biblical psychology. What it says, ang sabi ni King Solomon sa Book of Proverbs, as a man thinks he is, so he is. See? Kaya pag ang mga tao mayayabang, wala namang dapat ipagmayabang, alam nyo na kung bakit nagbe-behave yung mga ganyan. Kasi sa isip nila, Superman sila. Di mo alam kung mga high sa mga drugs ang mga taong yan. No? Now you know, review lang naman ng psychology. Dahil nung ako'y nag-aral yan, talagang tinandaan ko yan. And I practiced that when I was pastoring as a senior pastor of many large churches. Napakinabangan ko po yan. Nagamit ko yan. Especially when I was counseling. And I was dealing with different kinds of people. At sinasabi nilang sinapsycho. Kaya kung kayo pastor, you better take psychology in your bachelor degree. Kinig kayo sa isang veteran pastor. At huwag kayong mag-isip, Superman kayo. Tapos wala naman kayong mga pinag-aralan. Hindi naman kayo nag-Bible College overnight. Alright. So that is psychology. Now, what is psychology of saving? We're going to talk about the mindset needed to prioritize savings over spending. So, yun na po yun. Ang mindset natin, dapat priority natin savings over spending. Kung ang mindset nyo, gaya ng mindset ng marami, spend first and then save last, you have to change your thinking, your mindset. Yan yung sinasabi sa Bible, renew your mind. That's what I call biblical psychology. Dahil bilanggit ko na po kanina yan. Yan ang problema sa atin. Yan ang mindset natin. Yan yung behavior natin. Spend mo tayo. Spend. O naman tira, yun ang save. O ngayon, ano narinig natin this morning, today? Prioritize savings over spending. So pagka yung mindset natin, kinontrol natin, kinondisyon natin yung mind natin sa pagsisave, sooner or later, our behavior will go with that. Right? So, again, don't forget what you have learned from psychology. Now, before I end, ano po ba ang consequences ng hindi nagsasave? Consequences of not saving. Based sa Bible, based sa sinasabi ng ating mga financial experts. Alam niyo po kung ano? Alam niyo po kung ano sinabi nila? You will become dependent on credit. You will fall into a lot of debts, utang. And I'm sure they are 100% correct. Maraming tao ngayon makakapagpatunay na tama po yan. Based sa kanilang mga ugly past at sa kanilang mga present experiences. Dahil walang savings, utang dito, utang doon. At ang isa pang consequence, running out of money. Marami pong tinuro si Lord Jesus sa akin about money. Kaya nasabi ko po in one of my videos in this long series about financial prosperity or freedom, kung si Brother Eddie Villanueva merong TV program Diyos at Bayan, kaya ako po yung nagpaplanong mag-launch ng program na Diyos at Pera, no? Hindi lang usapan o talakayan tungkol sa Diyos, kundi usapan at talakayan tungkol sa pera. At yan po yung ginagawa natin ngayong araw na ito. Pag-uusap tayo, tinatalakay natin yung pera, tungkol sa pera. Dahil ang pera, we know it, we need it. At hindi po sinasabi sa Bible na money is evil. Kinalipay ko na po yan in one of my videos. The Bible says, the love of money, not money itself. Money is needed, but don't allow it to master you. But you master or control your money for the glory of God. Amen? Alright. Last. Overcoming obstacles. Sa palagay niyo, what do you think? Before I end, I will give that question to you. What do you think, in your opinion, alala ko tuloy yung mga discussion board or discussion forum namin sa Harvard, no? We have a lot of discussion questions. you have to answer that. Not only you have to answer those bright, very high intellectual discussion questions from mga experts sa Harvard. Di lang yun no? Sagutin mo yung tanong nila, masakit na sa ulo sagutin mo pa yung mag-respond ka pa sa mga classmate mo sa discussion board or forum. Another, yun. Kaya talagang at times sumasakit yung aking ulo. Pero I'm happy to announce to the whole world, this coming October, I will end my Harvard studies and I will receive my verified certificate from Harvard. Nakatatak po dyan, Harvard University, signed by mga expert, mga department heads ng Harvard. Sa po dyan yung pinakamataas na professor sa Harvard Divinity School. Tawag nila Hollis Professor of Divinity. Nakapirma po yan sa aking mga certificates. So for me, as I learn it, investing in education is worth it. Alright? Nobody can steal it. At yan po yung masasabi natin. Ito po yan. Alright? So, pero it doesn't mean I will end my study from Harvard. Continuous po yung study ko. Yung aking po supporter actually hindi po pa natatapos yung course ko na to. Ni-enroll na ako sa dalawang trending course pa rin sa Harvard. Medyo secular. Ito kasi yung isa, religious to. Pero yung isa, yung dalawa, medyo secular. Because it's all about public speaking and writing books. At yung isa is about medyo related sa medical science, mental health management. So marami po kayong matututuan in the future. I will share about how to handle mental health, mental stress, anything that will go against our mental health. Hindi ko pa po na-umpisan yung course dahil tinatapos ko po sa pang religious course. Alright, overcoming obstacle. What do you think is the primary obstacles to spending, saving? Of course, you know that already. I already mentioned that. Common barriers to saving: lifestyle spending, or the temptation to spend and spend and spend. Meaning, yung spending natin, yung binanggit ko na po yung kanina, spending first and then saving later, or that mindset, that psychology of saving, and yung pinaka-worst ito, overspending. sobra-sobrang labas ng pera, sobra-sobra wala na tayong iipon. Alright, so what will be my conclusion, my recap and application? Well, I want to encourage everyone, whether you are Christians or you are not Christians, everyone in the Philippines and even around the world. I would like to encourage everyone, and I would like also to challenge you to set a specific savings goal for your future. Para din po to sa inyo. Hindi po para sa akin to, no? Para sa inyo po yan. As I saw that in my personal life, as I said in my testimony. So again, not only our financial experts, even our Holy Bible tells us, teaches us, saving money, one of the ways, one of the keys to achieving financial freedom. Isa po yan sa mga susi. Hindi ko po sinasabing yan ang pinakasusi. Isa yan sa mga susi para magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na financial freedom, financial prosperity. Alam niyo na po yan, napiliwanag ko na po yan kanina. So, Christian man kayo, hindi kayo Christians, nagche-church man kayo, hindi kayo nagche-church, isa lang masasabi ko sa video ito, matuto kayong mag-ipon ng pera ngayon pa lang. Yung mga anak natin, lalo na yung mga maliliit nating anak, kahit maliliit pa lang yan, turuan na natin mag-save ng money. Para pag matatanda na yan, lumaki na yan, they can stand on their own, they will continue practicing it for their good. Walan man sila ng magulang, meron silang mga savings to help them in their future personal lives. So, hindi lang po para sa atin to. It's only for our children and our future grandchildren. Ang pangahirap po, diba, narinig nyo sa mga diniscuss ko dito sa video ito, ang pangahirap ng buhay, financially, kung wala kang savings, no? Mangungutang ka at mangungutang ka. At alam nyo po, pag dumating tayo dyan sa discussion about debt, isa yan sa ating tatalakayin, this long series, isa lang po ang masasabi ko ngayon, sa mga may utang, tapusin na po natin lahat ng utang na yan. Pag natapos na po yan lahat ng utang na yan, huwag na po tayong mangutang. Ang pagtuunan natin ng pansin, yung mag-save tayo na mag-save, so meron tayong substitute, pangontra sa pangungutang at iba pang paraan. Kaya nang narinig nyo, pag wala kayong savings, mangungutang at mangungutang kayo. Totoo po yan. Maraming tao makakapag-testify niya. Wala kang choice eh. No? Hindi mangutang. Ang pang problema yan, worst scenario, wala pang nagpa-utang sa'yo. Eh, kanga nila, patay kang bata ka. You're gonna run out of money. Kapag na-run ka na out of money, anong mangyayari sa inyo? Huwag na wang mangyari sa inyo. Wala kayong makain. O yung pamilya nyo, walang makain. So, ngayon pa lang, let's start doing it and practice all the tips I have taught you in this video. Alright? So, God bless everyone, and God bless our savings starting today.